Okay, hi everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Uh, Today is February 15th. It is 6:59. How cool is that? All right, it's 6:59, and let's go ahead and introduce everyone. My name is Tracy McGraw. I'm a chairman here of the Parks and Recs Committee.
My name is Rick Greenier, and I'm MYA representative. Almost forgot.
Naomi Halter, and I'm the school board representative.
Maureen Hall, Senior Representative.
David Shaw, committee member.
Lon Witch, Town Council Rep. Phil Prziski, member.
Matt Kasparis, Director of Parks and Recreation.
Great, thank you everyone. First things first is, has everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes from the January meeting? I'm gonna take a couple minutes and check them out. We all good? All right, do we have a motion
I make a
to?
motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. David, second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so what was the ayes here? Were you here?
I was absent, so I guess I should have.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Sorry, guys. There's gonna be a little space in between here because I'm taking notes too. So what is that, Matt? 5.
502.
Thank you. All right, great. So the first thing that we wanted to talk about was old business having to do with the March date. What did you want to talk about, Matt?
It's old, but it's new. But so our next scheduled meeting is March 15th, which is the same night as the town deliberative session, which generally I would have to be at. Phil, I'm guessing Naomi for the schools. So obviously it's a conflict for us to meet at the exact, because it's exact same time. So the question is, when do we meet in March? Do we go a week earlier? Do we go a week later? Do we skip March and hope nothing major comes up until April? And so I'm posing the question now so that we can kind of get it on the calendar if we're going to reschedule.
Okay. So our options then would be the 22nd
Yep.
or the 8th if we went the week before or the week after.
Correct.
February is a short month, so we should take that into consideration. Does anybody have an opinion or availability issue?
My preference is the 22nd, if all other things considered.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Be all right with that.
Okay. Phil, what are your thoughts on the 22nd?
Yeah, I can make that date.
Lon? You're invited then. Okay. You good? Maureen? As long as it's not going on a trip, right? Okay. Oh, Lord. All right, so we've decided that the March meeting is going to be on March 22nd.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Update from the dog park. Well, Christine told me to tell you. All is well. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of snow this year, but the wood chips did really well because of the berm that was created. Again, thank you to DPW because of the berm that was created, so things didn't wash away quite as much. We didn't have to worry as much also about the ice puddle that we had at basically the bottom part of the large dog side. Everything is well. Nobody's crashed into the fence. That's a good thing. Everything is still standing, and I think that's about it. Just your standard. Please bring dog poop bags. Yes, Matt.
I have a note from the town clerk to remind everybody listening at home that it is time to renew your dog licenses. They which can be done in person or at town hall, has to be done by April 30th. Anybody that doesn't register their dog is subject to fines or court summons. If for some reason you no longer have a dog that passed away, you got rid of it for whatever reason, you have to let the town clerk's office know. You have to call them, because otherwise they'll keep sending you notices and keep begging you about it. So, but yeah, just a reminder that
I
is due.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. One thing that I have noticed a lot lately too, is far as dogs and dog park, is there's been a lot of businesses that have been offering vaccination days and things like that. So if you do, as you're getting ready to register your dog, if your dog needs a vaccination, it might be an option, usually a lower cost if there's a cost at all. So it's something else to think about. All right. Matt, I'm pretty sure the rest of the meeting's on you.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
It's
so let's
short
go
and
with the
sweet.
director's
We couldn't go
report.
2 months without meeting, Just after, or the day after our last meeting in January, I made our budget presentation to the council, and it went perfectly. We, as I mentioned last time, on the taxpayers funded side, we didn't have a lot of changes. The one big thing was obviously we were trying to get the Wasserman Park Road repaired, but there wasn't the funding available to do it this year, so hopefully that'll go to next year. But we knew that ahead of time. On the programming side, on the recreation revolving fund, which doesn't get any tax dollars, we got 2 things approved that we were pitching. The first one is we have been given permission to start an after-school program for next fall. It will start, as I said last time, primarily out of Thornton's Ferry School to start with, mostly because it's about $35,000 to charter the bus every single day to get it from the school to the park, and I would have to do that at all 3 schools. So we'll start with one, and then we'll see how it goes, and potentially expand in the future. But the second piece, and probably the bigger piece, was I also got approved as part of this. We're creating a new full-time position. Excuse me. This position is going to be fully paid for by, this new position is going to be director of Nanticoke Day Camp, and then we'll also run the after-school program during the school year. And so the position will be fully paid, salary, benefits, everything out of the programs, out of camp and out of the after-school program, so that there's no impact to the taxpayer. It does a whole lot of stuff for us, obviously. We go from 2 full-time employees to 3. So now James sheds a whole bunch of stuff off his plate. I can then shed a whole bunch of stuff off my plate. I can stop working 75 hours a week, all kinds of good stuff, We'll see how well that works, but that's the plan. The job description has been written and approved by the town manager and HR. On tentatively March 9th, it goes to the council to officially sign off on the job description and to place the position in the official town wage scale. And as soon as that happens, we can put it out to recruitment. So if all goes well, we could have a new employee by April.
Great.
Matt, that's a great job. Thank you.
Matt,
So that's our big one from the budget.
Maureen, hold on one second. Matt.
Yes, Maureen.
I was going to say it's all your fault.
I know.
You expanded so much that, we got to have more people to help you out.
That's right.
It's a good job.
Well, it was funny during that council meeting. They were talking about, when we first got the revolving fund, and I had pitched this whole long list of ideas of stuff we were going to do, and they're like, "You did it." Yeah. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. And I was like, "Well, this is why I need more help." So anyway, so that was all great. So that is in the works, and I actually do have a potential candidate in mind already too. So even better. So more on that hopefully in March. When we meet in March. Watson Park, the ice skating rink has been interesting this year. We've officially been open for 4 days this winter. And it was the end of that cold snap before it got warm again last week. At this point, I'm not sure it's going to reopen. It's pretty much all melted already from this last few days. And it's going to be like 50s and 60s coming into, I think, this weekend and part of next week. There's a chance the 10-day forecast has it dropping down to like down in the teens at night and like 32 during the day during vacation week, but you still need 3 or 4 days for it to refreeze, and I'm not sure we're going to get there. It just depends on how long it stays cold, but
Wrong temperature.
yeah, in ground temperature. So I'm not expecting it to open at this point, but you never know. We haven't officially given up on it. So, but just putting it out there, and just a reminder, if the signs are out there that says closed, stay off it, because what happens is they step on the ice, they break through, and then their skates actually put holes in the liner, which then has to be fixed before it can refreeze to, whatever. Summer camp registration opened 5 weeks ago. And as of today, we've already taken in more registrations than we did all of last year, by about 50 registrations, and we're still going. At this point, Natticook Day Camp is 79% full for the entire summer, but realistically, the openings are kind of kids going into 2nd grade and kids going into 5th grade, and pretty much everything else is sold out. Our teen camp is 85% full. With our 5th graders, they have the option to go to either camp. Many of them are choosing to go to the teen camp just because it's more fun and exciting, and that's kind of why we created it in the first place. But my guess is as soon as the teen camp fills in the next couple of weeks, then those that are still looking for childcare will start filling up those 5th grade slots in Natticook, and we'll be even more full. Today is the last day. We've been doing a special this year. We had a big jump in the cost of camp this year, but as did everybody else. But one of the things we were doing this year was if you signed up before February 15th, you could save basically $10 a week off each week. Now that may not sound like a whole lot, but if you've got especially 2 or 3 kids going for 9 weeks of camp, it can add up pretty substantially. Today is the last day to take in that deal. And then otherwise, obviously the price is the normal full-time price, moving forward. So anybody listening at home, if you haven't registered, go do it tonight before it turns off at midnight. This obviously leads us to staffing. Enrollment numbers obviously are based on what we think we're going to get staff. And we've had kind of steady hiring at this point. If we can get more staff, then obviously we can open up some of our wait lists, particularly on the young, going into kindergarten and going into 1st grade, especially. I've got 30 kids on every wait list, and so that's the first age group I can open up if I can get more staff than I'm expecting to get. But we're not there yet. So we're looking for staff, obviously, in a couple of different areas. Obviously camp counselors, which starts at age 16 for anybody at home listening. But I also need a waterfront director. I need somebody to lead my teen camp program. We're also looking for lifeguards, and then seasonal maintenance. And then speaking of maintenance, my part-time year-round person, Larry, who's been with us for 3.5 years now, gave his notice. He's dealing with some family issues, and so he's done already. So we're in an urgent need. I have a full-time or a part-time 25-hour-a-week year-round position, that we're flexible on hours. If they want to work, 8 to 12 Monday through Friday, or if they want to work 1 to 5, or, we can figure that out. Realistically, we're looking for Monday through Friday, which I assume most would prefer, but it is posted, and it is something we're looking to fill right now away. Like yesterday, I spent an hour and a half cleaning the function hall after a rental we had this weekend, and I don't want to keep doing that. So, because we've got a bunch of those coming up in the next few weeks. So, so hiring is ongoing, and all that's done through the town website. Or you can go to our website and it'll link you over to the town's page. Or you can call me if you have questions about them. Last Saturday, we did our big murder mystery dinner. We sold out the event. We had 100 people. I actually had a waiting list so we had to turn some people away. Went really well. People seemed to enjoy themselves. We may do it again next year, but we may change it up and do something different. I haven't gotten that far yet. But we'll do something next year for Valentine's Day again, but it was a good, successful event. And then lastly, Winter Carnival is coming up in a week and a half, and I say winter. Saturday, February 25th from 12 to 3 p.m. Doesn't look like, as I said, it doesn't look like we're going to have a whole lot of winter left, but you never know. Currently, we've got 26 groups providing games and activities and crafts, and that's all free down at Wasserman Park from 12 to 3. Some of our kind of special guests, we actually have Mac, the police comfort dog, is scheduled to make an appearance. And actually, we have the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile coming in too, just because why not? And so we're working on a bunch of different things. I think the fire department hopefully is going to do a some sort of like winter safety, ice rescue equipment, and what it looks like, and some of that kind of stuff too. I think. So yeah, we don't have sledding, we don't have ice fishing. You know, the lake's not frozen at all. So we're obviously trying to come up with whatever else we can to still make it a fun event. So. It's you know, photo booths and all kinds of good stuff. So, and then of course we have our town charitable organizations, Friends and Family, and we actually have the Girl Scouts also do. Girl Scouts are selling cookies, and Friends and Family have other things that they're selling, chili and I forget what else off the top of my head. But so good event, yes.
Question. You said how many different vendors or
26 at the moment,
Okay. Thank you.
and that's all I got. Be a quick record-breaking meeting here.
I'm thinking, yeah.
Last month, we were pretty quick, too.
We were. Well, that was still almost an hour.
So can I add on to the end of that because
Sure.
you said we were going to ask this time? Do you have all the volunteers that you could possibly need?
I actually think I'm in good shape right now. I've got
Okay.
6, I think. So I think I'm in a good spot for that.
Okay.
I
If-
have
if-
to,
You need any more? You let us know.
yeah, will do.
Okay. All right. We're down to organizational reports. Rick, you want to go first with MYA?
Sure, thank you. So our sports that are currently in session are basketball and wrestling. I believe wrestling will be concluding soon. And registration is open for softball, baseball, and soccer. And as always, I want to thank the Department of Public Works, Elbit Systems, and Gitenge for all that they do to help us be successful. If anybody out there needs more information, it's available at the MerrimackYouthAssociation.com. That's it, Trace.
Great. Thank you for that. All right. Maureen, what you
Hey,
got?
I'm up. We had an installation banquet on Monday. It was a Valentine party. I'll just kind of read off the list. I finally brought a list. We are still looking for a president. Believe it or not, we have all kinds of people here. We have an acting president, Lorraine Lasad. She's the vice president, Lorraine Lasad. Recording secretary, Louise Tedeschi. Treasurer, Jeanette Pabalski. We didn't have an assistant treasurer, but I think someone volunteered. I can't remember her name Monday. Corresponding secretary, Phyllis Elkson. Sunshine lady, Helen Bonifat. Chaplain, Joyce Susi. Trip manager, Lorraine Lasad. Assistant trip manager, Joan Rasmussen. Hospitality chairman, Irene Jenis. Hospitality co-chairman, Irene Gorski. Trustees, Jerry Bosch, Gloria Creighton, Irene Korsky, Lon Woods, and Maureen Howells on Parks and Rec. But I can give you the list. I don't know if you have it.
That would be very helpful. Thank you. I'll take the list.
Oh, you take the list. Good. I brought it for you.
I
And
appreciate
we
that.
have a lot of trips with Parks and Recs. That's how we're getting, a lot of people haven't been going, but by combining the trips with Parks and Recs, I guess a lot of people are signing up. There's one coming up, what is it, for Boston Encore? Yeah, and everyone's interested. They have a lot of, but we've had, I'm really surprised, a lot of couples joining. You know, I don't know what's happening, but all of a sudden, I don't know if they'll keep coming to meetings, but we need more people. I mean, like you said, we can't get a president right now, so, but that's, Garden Club can't get a president. We're really having a hard time. But I'm hoping that more people will step up. And, but if there's couples, the more couples, I think it'll make a nicer group. and they can help out a lot. So other than that, I mean, everything's great. We just had a flood at the ceiling, kind of fell down in the senior citizen at the place. It was water everywhere. So, yeah, not here at John O'Leary.
Right. Yeah, it was.
But it's an old building and it needs, we've fixed it, but it just, all the little things that are still old that hasn't been fixed, so it's scary. We're hoping for a new floor, maybe. Oh, but that's it, really. If anybody's out there that wants to join the senior citizens, it's $20 and it's $35 for a couple. And we do go on trips and it's getting more exciting at the meetings. Me. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Maureen. You kind of piqued my curiosity on that last comment, but I don't think I should ask. All right. All right, so next one would be Naomi for school board.
All right. School vacation week is, I'm pulling up my calendar so I can give you the correct dates. February 27th through March 3rd. Tomorrow night is the public hearing for the school budget, with the school budget committee, and I have been trying in my calendar to find the date that we picked for the deliberative session, and I can't. I think it was going to be on March 6th, and if I'm wrong, when I figure it out, I will send you an email to correct it in the minutes.
Okay, great. I appreciate that.
6th. Oh, 6th. The Monday, yeah. I feel like I remember we had a conversation that we were going to do it during our regular meeting time, and I thought I wrote it down, but apparently I didn't. So I got to go find out from somebody when that actually is.
If you don't happen to find out before the minutes get done, we could always correct them at the next the next meeting too.
Yeah. So, and that's all I can think of at the moment. We've been head down in budget for next year, so it's been busy, but not a lot of new things going on.
All right, great. Thanks, Naomi. All right. Student rep is not here tonight, so we're going to Alon. What you got for us?
A long list for me. Second on what Matt reported about the budget when it was presented, this budget when it was presented at the town council. Okay. Second, Matt's comments on the budget in front of the town council, the park and rec budget, went by relatively unscathed, and I will say at least this member was enthused listening to Matt with his plans for the after-school program and the new employee and so on, and that, I believe, was received somewhat positively by the council. Second, there is a town budget hearing tomorrow evening at the town council meeting, beginning at 7. Sorry, Naomi, but that's the way these things unfold. The town deliberative session, as Matt mentioned, is March 15th at 7 p.m. over at MUES. And I would encourage people to keep in mind the filing period for town candidates running for office opens February 23 and is ongoing until March 3 at 5 p.m. that evening. So if you've got some interest in getting involved in the town, there's a lot of time for you to sign up for an office and see how you do. And I encourage everybody to look at that. Thank you.
Thanks, Lon. I appreciate it. We have no public. Okay. Are there any other comments from anyone on the committee? Anything you want to bring up? Wow. Okay. Well, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion we adjourn at 7:24.
Do we have a second? Okay. All in favor? 7, 6?
I think you gotta
I
take
want to
this
stay.
when you can get it. Some nights we've been here late, so.
This is very true, especially when,
You need it?
There you are, thank, no, I
Forgot to bring. That happens.
was lying on the counter and I put it back to where it should have been and didn't realize I didn't put it in my pocket.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You did okay at the town meeting? Good job.
Michelle cannot not come now. Come on. I know. No, we're off.